Hi, everybody. It's Brooke and Laura here. I don't know why I always say Brooke and Laura when I'm the one talking and I'm Laura, but
E comes before L.
that's what it is. That's what it is. B comes before L, and B is the one who also started this whole thing. So, um, welcome to Lawyering Outside the Lines this Tuesday. And we just want to talk to you a little bit today about technology. I know we talked last week about kind of our takeaways from Tech Show, but we as a company who has a model of virtual law firm, limited scope practice, technology is obviously a big deal for us. And Brooke and I function as a virtual law firm here in Arkansas, as well as our business that helps attorneys in other states. But the model that we use to kind of go by is our virtual law firm here in Arkansas. And for us, that means that we deliver all of our services to our clients using cloud technology. We also like for the experience to be easy, not only for us, because that's very important to make the attorneys' lives easier, but also we need it to be easy for our clients to access so that they don't balk at anything, that it's seamless and easy for them. So we want to talk to you today a little bit about our Anchor technology, which is a newer software tool called Client Rock. You've heard us talk about them before, but they've been around for a couple of years, and we work with the developer pretty closely to kind of mold the software into what a virtual law firm needs, which is great because a lot of the practice management and CRMs and things like that out there are designed for more traditional practice and using technology in a traditional practice. And with Client Rock, he's really trying to make this be attractive to virtual law firm space. And it's our Anchor technology. We want to tell you why it's our Anchor technology and kind of see what you're using.
Yes, and full disclaimer, we do not get a kickback, but we show him some love and we talk about it all the time because it really just is that great of a tool. I can't even imagine, some of the things we would maybe even be doing right now had we had this earlier. We've gone through different iterations. You've heard us talk before about how we try out different types of technology and really use our law firm here in Arkansas as kind of the guinea pig for testing new strategies and workflows and technology. But Client Rock has been amazing. It's really almost a one-stop shop for us. I mean, it's as good of a one-stop shop as we can get at this point in legal technology advancement. So a few things that Client Rock can do. We used to have a separate booking calendar software, which was great. We used a Calendly at one point, and then the previous one that we used was Acuity scheduling. All great, but there were, again, you had to integrate. There weren't seamless flows into, client onboarding and intake. And for us, that's a big pain point. And I think probably for a lot of people, there's a lot of minutia, a lot of grunt work, in administrative work on the front end just to get that client from consultation to onboarded into your platform or wherever. And so there's a booking calendar. We're able to embed it everywhere. Our answering service can use it. We can customize it. We have multiple calendars because sometimes people just want to hop on and chat with Laura and I that aren't clients at our law firm. And so we really love that interface. Also, there is, we have our engagement agreement. So super easy. Once we have this call with them, if they want to become a client, before it was so cumbersome. We would have to go to our separate portal and manually input all the information, make sure everything was created in there. And then we would, go back and draft up automate our engagement agreement and then put that up there and then send it through this other software that they had to go then and sign in and create an account for them. It was a whole thing. So we just cut all that out. Client Rock cut all that out. And so now all we really have to do is start engagement, click a button, all their information. We've gathered what we need to get started from that initial consult sign up. So, whether or not they sign up with us or not. And so we have it. And so it populates in there and we're able to do that. And an engagement agreement, we pick the engagement agreement. And there are a few things we have to go in there and just double check and review. And then we're able to send that over to them to e-sign. And I believe, Laura, is it HelloSign? For some reason, I always forget. Yes, So we used to use DocuSign, so we paid for a separate tool, and then we had to integrate that with our practice management software. So we had to go to a whole nother place and then upload it and then use box.com. And then it was like a 3, 4, 18-step process. So, but we were able to.
We're on the 18 step.
Yeah, 18 steps. It was horrible. And so, I mean, it was great to have that, because when I first started, we didn't even really have an e-signature tool that worked. So I was having people, fax things over, or send them on a dinosaur. It was really embarrassing. But anywho, so we have HelloSign now that's within our Client Rock. We don't have separate accounts for any of these other things. He's just built those in. And so they automatically, when we start that client engagement, they get the engagement agreement. They have to sign that before we even do anything. So they sign that. Then what happens is they're triggered to make a payment, however we set that up. So it integrates with LawPay as well, which is what we use. And I don't know about any other merchant services providers, but maybe. So I'm not going to speak on that right now. But, LawPay is the biggest one, and a lot of people use them, and we use them. So it integrates there. And so we are able to go and even customize, because we're flat fee, we're subscription, we do some recurring payment plans. We're able to kind of customize that experience. So you can do all that inside Client Rock as well. And then what we talk about all the time is the client portal. And the client portal is so important. So that way, especially in a virtual law firm, if you're not meeting face-to-face, so that way you have some place where you can meet your client. And there's also a portal in here. It's so easy to use. They don't have to download 15 different things. They can go, we have file sharing in there. We can share things. They can share things with us. There's a messaging feature, so we can message back and forth. So it's super user-friendly on the attorney end and on the client end. But that's just a few of the things that you can do in Client Rock, some things that work really, really well for us. And we're continuing to, some of these things are newer functionalities, like Laura said, because he's continually improving to work with futuristic firms.
Yeah, and the futuristic firm, I think that's a big deal, is that he wants this to be an ever-changing, forward-thinking tool, as opposed to stagnant, not awesome tool. But so I'll talk a little bit about automation, and that's something that he and I are working on right now, is figuring out how to make document automation inside of Client Rock a little bit easier. There are some automation tools inside of Client Rock, like, for example, like Brooke said, our engagement agreement templates. We have several in there for different types of practice areas, and I even have several in there for different types of family law cases that I have. That is fully automated based on the client information that they fill out when they sign up for a consultation, that kind of thing. But as far as, document automation for the litigation documents, the contracts, the estate planning, things like that, that's not fully functional in Client Rock right now. So we do use a separate tool for that. And right now we're using Practice Panther. I think you've heard us talk about that before. And the reason that we switched to Practice Panther several years ago was because the automation experience was all in one place for us. Again, we didn't have to integrate into multiple different types of technology. So our intake questionnaires are inside of Practice Panther, which have all the coding and the mapping codes and the templates for all of the different documents that we need to generate. And I can copy over, Brooke and I can copy over that intake questionnaire link from Practice Panther into their Client Rock portal. So again, the clients only have one place to go. They fill out their intake questionnaire, and then we can go into Practice Panther to automate, do the doc gen automation, which is great, but we are still looking for different tools, and Practice Panther has its limitations on types of fields that you and formatting and how that translates over in the mapping codes. So we're still looking for other options, and we want to crowdsource. So tell us what you're using for what's your anchor technology. Is it your practice management system? Is it something for intake? Is it something just totally different? Let us know what you're using. Give us some ideas for automation. We're pretty stuck on Client Rock right now, and I would suggest that you go check it out, do a free trial or something, but if you're interested in how it functions. But we're always looking for a better experience for us as well as our clients. And so let us know what you're using for things like DocGen and other types of tools.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We're always looking, and we're not necessarily shiny object people. We're interested, but we're also very practical, and we know what we're looking for because we really honed our systems and processes. So we're very intentional when we're using and looking for technology. So all the ideas we can crowdsource and get are fantastic, and we'll share with you anything that we find too. So thanks for joining us. We will be back here next week to talk to you about client interactions. We'll be here at 1 Eastern, 12 Central, 11 Mountain, and 10 Pacific. Hope you guys have a great week.